से बोलो श्री गुरु महाराज की जय हो. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees. Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday with your Shri Pandit Shiva Janak Maharaj. Another edition of your simulcast of Sooryoday on Radio and TV Jaagriti. Dear devotees, this morning, of course, all of us know that yesterday we entered this period known as Pitri Paksh or Pitar Paksh, as our ancestors would have called it, their devotees. Paksh, as we all know, means fortnight. And Pitri refers to the Pitri days. You know, those Pitri days who we owe so much. And there are debts that we have to pay back in life, dear devotees. And it is said that payment that we have to make to our Pitris, our forefathers, for the sacrifices that they would have made to ensure that we have all that we have today, dear devotees, is even greater. And this is why so much emphasis, even in the Panch Mahayagnas, it is said that the Pitri Yagna is one of those yagnas that you must perform, because we have that debt to pay back to our ancestors, their devotees. And so Pitri Paksh is a very excellent time that we can use to repay what we owe to our forefathers. And therefore, dear devotees, within this period of Pitri Paksh, if we are to do what is prescribed, it will make our ancestors very happy. However, you know, for the human mind and for the questioning mind that we have in today's world, they sometimes ask, what's in it for me? And our scriptures, dear devotees, we turn to our scriptures to see what are the benefits for you. And there are many benefits performing your Shrad, dear devotees, especially your Shrad that you should perform during this period of Pitri Paksh. And so, in our scriptures, starting from that of Maharishi Sumantu, he said, dear devotees, in the world there is no other path to good fortune than performing your Shrad. There is no other path to good fortune as performing your Shrad. Therefore, all wise people must devoutly perform their Shrad. All wise people. Are you wise people? Yes, of course, dear Hindus, you are wise Hindus, you are a wise person, and so you perform your Shrad with Shraddha. It is said that Shrad comes from the root word Shraddha, faith, and you perform it with all your faith, dear devotees. And when you perform it with your faith, the Brahma Puran says that the family of a person who performs Shrad with devotion will be trouble-free. When you perform it with that faith, you perform it with that love, devotion, and that devotion, saying thank you to all your ancestors that have passed, your forefathers who have contributed to making you who you are. Their devotees, it is said, that home will be trouble-free in the Brahma Puran. And so there goes on, their devotees, to give even more details of how trouble-free, what kind of blessings will your home have for performing your Shrad during this Pitri Paksh time, their devotees, and other occasions where you get the opportunity to perform your Shrad. It says in the Guru Puran, when Shrad is performed to the satisfaction, the deceased bless the successors with good health, with sons, with children, with fame, with salvation, moksha, with getting into the heavenly regions, with glory, with stability, with strength, with prosperity, with cattle, with happiness, with money, with growth, with eternal blessings. I'm sure all of us would fall into one of those categories where we want that blessings, their devotees. And so this is why you have benefits by performing your Shrad with bhakti, love, and Shraddha, faith, dear devotees, as we just cited from our scriptures. So, dear devotees, we are in this period of Pitri Paksh. Let us enjoy this beautiful Pitri Stuti, dear devotees, as we pray for the blessings of our ancestors during this period of Pitri Paksh. प्रेम से बोलो श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय हो। Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai Ho, Jai Sitaram, dear devotees. Swagatam, welcome back to Sooryoday, your Thursday morning simulcast on Radio and TV Jaagriti with your Shri Shiva Janak Maharaj. Dear devotees, we all are in this period of Pitri Paksh, this fortnight where we remember our ancestors. In our last segment, we spoke of what are the individual benefits to you and your family by performing your Shraddh. And their devotees, during this Pitri Paksh time is a very opportune time to perform your Shraddh, and in so doing you will be fulfilling one of the Panch Mahayagnas known as Pitri Yagna, or sacrifices for our forefathers, dear devotees. And we continue now to look at why performing Shraddh during this period of the Krishna Paksh of the month of Ashwin, which is known as your Pitri Paksh, is very auspicious to do so. Their devotees, all the forefathers reach their relatives on the earth without invitation at this time, and after satisfying themselves with whatever is offered unto them, they confer blessings and boons on their relatives. You see, sometimes, their devotees, we may not be seeing our way. Things may not be going as we would like it to go, and we may wonder, what have we done? Have you ever thought about, have we paid any attitude of gratitude and thankfulness to our ancestors for what they have contributed to us? Have we fulfilled our yagnas, our Pitri Yagnas, in doing our obligations, paying our debts to them? And so this will be one reason why, when and if, whenever you perform your Shraddh, especially during this period, as it says here, they visit planet Earth from Pitri Lok, their devotees, during this period, as we all will be familiar with the Katha of Karan, their devotees, some Mahabharat by now, that Karan was a very, very good devotee. He gave lots of gold, he gave lots of money out, he was very charitable. And however, when he went to the heavenly regions, their devotees, he was given nothing else to eat but gold and valuables, and he couldn't have partaked in that. So he was given a chance to come back to earth when their devotees, during this period, the Pitri Paksh period, to give dan and to receive that of the Shraddh, their devotees, from his family. And so it is very, very auspicious. That's why during Shraddh we have, most people call Shraddh, not Shraddh, but in Trinidad we say Bandara. Bandara referring to the feeding. So feeding is very, very important. But the point that was made here is that this is a time when the ancestors, the Pitris, they can visit here in Bhulok, their devotees, here on planet Earth. In Mrityulok, they can visit during this time freely. And so, their devotees, to understand how that can be, it says here, according to the words of Rishi Atri the Rishi, their devotees, he says, their devotees, in his words, he says, when the sun comes under the Kanya Rasi, then forefathers reach their good sons. The family, one family head who does not perform Shraddh when the sun is in the Kanya Rashi is a sinner. Therefore, the tradition of this Pitri Paksh in the Ashwan is endorsed by the Vedas, their devotees. This is a quotation from the Vedas. And so Pitri Paksh, in this timing of the Ashwin, the dark fortnight, their devotees, is also cited in our Vedas as being very important. And so if you look from the astrological side of it and from the scientific side of it, it is said that scientifically that the moon, the sun and the earth are well placed for that transaction to happen, dear devotees. What transaction? You see in our scriptures, it tells us in Garud Puran, as it speaks about how the offerings of our food can reach to our ancestors, because some may be very doubtful how can we offer food and offer kheer and sweet rice and honey and milk, and how can these things reach to our ancestors? We don't know where they are, and very truly, we don't know where they are. And also true, we do not offer to them. We offer it to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. He is the only one who will know where they are in what form. So the Garud Puran tells us that Bhagwan Shri Krishna is explaining, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu is explaining to Garudji that you offer it to Vayu. Vayu will give it to Surya, Surya will give it to me, and it will be converted into a form that the ancestor can partake of. And this is what they're speaking about, the sun, the moon, and the earth. They are devotees. We are on earth. The Pitri Lok is around where the moon is, and the sun is where Devlok is. However, we offer to Devlok. We offer it to Varun Devta. Varun Devta will give it to Surya Devta. Surya Devta will give it to Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. Bhagwan Shri Vishnu is the one in Devlok will convert it and reach it to Pitri Lok or to Bhulok, or wherever there is on earth or the moon, wherever that soul, if it's reborn, if it's in the astral regions, if it's in the heavenly regions, Bhagwan alone knows where that Atman is. So he and he alone can get that there. So if you think about it now, dear devotees, when you offer, let's say, your Tarpan, you offer your Tarpan to Varun Devta. That is the water god. Water god gives it to Surya Devta. Surya Devta now converts it, gives it to Vishnu Bhagwan, and he converts it into a form that can be partaken by the Atman, wherever it is, in whatever form. Think about it now, dear devotees. Isn't that song very familiar to primary school science, where the water is evaporated to the sun, and then the sun converts back into clouds, falls down, it falls into the food cycle, because the sun energy and the water now feeds the plant, and the plants are the producers, which feeds the entire food chain. So scientifically as well, our scriptures describes what is known as the water cycle and the food chain that will convert into whatever form. So if they have reborn as a cow per se, they get that grass. If some other animal that eats other animals, maybe a tiger, that grass will feed the smaller animal that will feed the tiger. And so therefore, if it's in the heavenly regions, it will also be converted into that Amrit that the devtas can partake of, that your Atmans that are in that heavenly regions can partake of. And so their devotees, only Bhagwan knows where that Atman is. Let us enjoy a beautiful bhajan now to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. He and he alone knows where that Atman is. During this period of Pitri Pakrupe to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, we offer all to him, and he takes it to wherever they are. Prem Solo Shri Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai Ho. Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai Ho. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees. Swagatam, welcome back to Sooryoday, your Thursday morning simulcast on Radio and TV Jaagriti with your Shri Shiva Janak Maharaj. So far, dear devotees, we have discussed thus far what type of blessings can come to you when you please your Pitris during this period of Pitri Paksh. We have discussed how the physical offerings of your food and your kheer and your whatever you offer there, your tarpan, your pindas, how they can, that blessings of that food, that nourishment can accompany and reach your ancestors wherever they may be. Their devotees, true when we offer to Bhagwan. And lastly, their devotees, another way we can achieve getting that blessings to our Pitris is when we invite our holy Brahmanas, our Pandits to our home, and they perform the Shraddha and they partake of the meals afterwards. You can also bless your very own selves. And how do we know this is so? We remember from Ramayana Katha, their devotees, when Sita Devi and Sri Ram, they performed the Shraddha in the forest, and Sita Devi she was feeding the Brahmanas and she ran off their devotees. And when Sri Ram inquired, why did you run off while feeding the Brahmanas? Sita Devi, she said, O Sri Ram, I saw your father in the bodies of the invited Brahmins. I felt ashamed, so I ran away and hid myself. How could my father-in-law, who earlier saw me decked with all my ornaments and jewelry, could see me now sweating and soiled their devotees? So Devi Mata, she saw Raja Dasrath in the Brahmanas partaking of the meals their devotees. So it is also referred to in our scriptures. That's another way we can get that blessings of that food to our ancestors during this period of Pitri Paksh.